In recent years, there's been an increase in interest in overhead casting for muskie. It really just makes a lot of sense. Using two hands, provides an efficient and effective way to deliver a large muskie fly. When you look around, the gear anglers have been using two-handed casting for their large muskie baits for a number of years, and it really just makes a lot of sense that us fly anglers would follow that same approach. The key to delivering a muskie fly with a two-handed rod overhead is truly engaging both hands. If you have ever spey cast with a two-handed rod, you know the importance of engaging both hands, pulling as much as pulling with the bottom hand as much as pushing with the top hand. And same is true with overhead casting. So that when I'm ready to deliver the fly, when I have my back cast out, I want my left hand forward, right hand up by my cheek, so that when I deliver the fly, I'm engaging both. That pull of the bottom hand, push of the top hand creates the same kind of line speed that a double haul does. It's just this fulcrum action moving around the center point that really propels the fly and really makes the cast quite easy. I'm using a 9-foot, 9-inch for a 910 weight RB Miser rod that's designed for overhead casting shooting heads. My line is just a homemade concoction out of 25 feet of T20 loop to level running line. I like a shorter head when I'm overhead two-hand casting. There's plenty of lines on the market that are in that 35 foot range for the head. But I prefer a shorter just so that it seems like it's more efficient getting the next cast started after I've completed my figure eight. This line has a loop in it, a homemade line that has a loop in it, and some anglers may find that cumbersome. I kind of like it from the standpoint that it offers a visual or an audio clue, so that when I have when the tip of the line has actually, or the head of the line has passed the tip of the rod, I can hear that click and know that I'm ready to fire my forward cast. So let's take a look at what the two-hand overhead cast for muskie looks like. Okay, so let's take a look at the basic cast. As I mentioned earlier, when you're delivering the fly, you're in that forward cast position. You want your upper hand up near your cheek, lower hand out, so that when you deliver the fly, deliver the cast, you're pulling in with the bottom hand as much as you're pushing with the top hand. Very important to use the bottom hand to be able to get that line speed that you would get similarly with the haul or a double haul. So I usually try to use about 1 or 2 false casts to get the head of the line beyond the tip of the rod, get it all lined up, and it's just a very easy motion to deliver about an 85 foot cast. Very efficient, makes it much easier to fire big flies all day long, and to kind of stay in the game longer with less wear and tear on your body. Let's just take a look at that one more time. Going to use 1, maybe 2 false casts. Get that head beyond the tip, pushing with the top hand, pulling with the bottom hand. So when overhead casting with the two-hander, it's important that we follow a few of the basic principles of single hand casting. And probably the most prominent is making sure that we're accelerating during the stroke, coming to an abrupt stop, both on the back cast and the forward cast. So accelerating and coming to a very abrupt stop allows that rod to flex and allows it to load during the cast. So let's kind of just take a look at what that looks like. And the other thing too is when I stop on my forward cast as I'm delivering the fly, I want to come to a stop and then follow down to reduce the friction of the running line going through the guides, and that allows you to reach your full distance. So kind of just take a look at what that looks like. Accelerating through both my forward cast and back cast, and I'm going to deliver the fly, come to an abrupt stop, follow down, allow that line to fully stretch out. Okay, so let's take a look at how the two-handed casting approach blends into the fishing strategy. So I'm stripping in my fly here. Once I make a visual at the fly, I'll look to see if there's any fish following behind it. Strip down to my bite guard knot. Roll into a figure eight, whether I see a fish or not, either a figure eight or an oval. Still have the line managed with my line hand and pinched off at the cork. So now I'm going to just continue to manage with my line hand and just sweep the rod. The tension of the fly in the water allows the tip of the line to come beyond the tip of the rod. I'm going to transfer the management of the line over to my top hand, make a couple false casts, and deliver the next cast. Very easy and efficient. Let's take another look at that. Stripping the fly in. Always have my rod tip in the water. As the fly gets closer, watching for any followers, roll into that figure eight. Couple rotations, nothing engaged. Grabbing that line with the line hand. Allowing the line to pass through the tip of the rod. Manage the line with the top hand, couple false casts, deliver the next cast. Very efficient. I've been fishing this way now for about 3 or 4 years. I never really see myself going back to single hand rod, particularly on larger water for muskies. I really think it's something that'll continue to grow in popularity among fly fishing musky anglers. So, I encourage you to give it a look. And as we roll into some of the best fishing of the season, I wish you good luck out on the water.